It turned out the full plate contained 1,208 calories.
Except it didn't. It contained 0. They were only yielded after the rapid combustion of the food in the bomb calorimeter. They wouldn't be yielded after your body ingests those things, because that's not how human physiology works. The British Medical Journal is now here to tell us all about the science of the calorimeter, or the lack thereof, really, whether they realize it or not.
Here is a Christmas dinner. Turkey, potatoes, gravy, delicious.
Right, get rid of the potatoes and you're really on the right track, aren't you? And also replace the turkey with red meat, because that best approximates our species-appropriate, species-specific primary derivative of nutrition for the last millions of years, and especially the last few 100,000 years.
But what these scientists want to know is...
Ooh, scientists, so they must know what they're talking about. They're not trained monkeys in a laboratory that don't know how to critically think about anything and only know how to follow rules.
Not how it tastes, but how many calories it contains.
Well, it contains 0. That food on the plate contains 0 calories. Everything contains 0 calories, because calories are photons of light when manifested in the real world, or really made manifest in the real world. And they're made manifest by, receiving photons of light from the sun, but also from combusting a food rapidly in a closed thermodynamic system, also known as a bomb calorimeter, via a massive electrical current, which is what they're about to do. Your body doesn't yield calories from food at all, okay? Just because we're both thermodynamic systems, a closed thermodynamic system being the bomb calorimeter, and then human beings being an open thermodynamic system, which makes us very different in many, many ways, doesn't mean that we use food the same way, okay? We have an electron transport chain, not a calorie transport chain. Electrons have mass, about 1/1836th of a proton, I believe.
This is Dr. Sue Roberts. Her research often involves measuring the calories in food.
No, not measuring it. Her research does not involve measuring the calories in food, by the way. First of all, because there's no calories in food at all. The calorie number on food labels is how many calories, plus or minus 20%, would be yielded from that food after the rapid combustion of it in a bomb calorimeter. Why did I say plus or minus 20%? For the second reason that I'm also saying she doesn't measure calories. Because you can't measure calories, you estimate them with a 20% error in either direction. If something is considered to have 120 calories, let's just do the math on my paper here. No, let's do, you know what? Let's just do it on the computer here. 120 times 0.2 plus 120. So it can either be 144 calories, or it can be 96. So it can either be between 96 and 144, which is a difference of, 48 calories. Anyway, let's get back to the nonsense and the misinformation.
This is the science of a calorimeter.
Well, that begs the question as to whether it's relevant to the human physiological system at large, which it isn't. At large or at small.
Firstly, you take this lovely meal.
Wow, that's jarringly loud.
And homogenize it.
Okay.
Then over the course of 3 days, we slowly remove all the moisture from it in a freeze dryer, like astronaut food.
Okay, so is that accurate to what human beings do with their food when they consume it? Do they isolate the moisture and excrete all of it? No.
These dried samples are made into pellets. This is a bomb calorimeter.
Looks just like a human body and functions the same way.
Chamber into which exactly measured portions of the freeze-dried Christmas dinner is placed. The lid is sealed and electricity is fed through the food inside.
So a massive electrical current, which is exactly what I said. Calories are the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water around a closed thermodynamic system, bomb calorimeter, by 1 degree Celsius. That's what they're doing right now.
Load the food and capture the heat that it produces.
And we use heat in our bodily processes for energy production purposes. Well, that's just great, isn't it? Well, if only it were true.
Here's what's happening on the inside. Unlike in the air, in a bomb calorimeter, none of that energy escapes. It all goes into heating the water surrounding the central chamber.
Yes, it does. And I cover this all the time. I've covered it in my book as well, Contrainidicated. If you actually want real nutrition information, go ahead and purchase that. A closer look and revision of mainstream health axioms that have perpetuated illness, disorder, and disease for over a century. All 4 formats are out now. Second edition is out now as well. Paperback, hardcover, self-narrated audiobook, and ebook finally. Links in the description below for those. Absolutely ridiculous. And they posted this without a shred of irony.
So when you burn the food, it releases heat.
Yep. And of course, that you're using heat in your body.
Calorie is the amount of energy that heats 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree centigrade.
Yes. So the reason she said kilogram is because she's talking about kilocalories, which is what you actually see on food labels. I was specifically referring to the singular calorie, which is 1/1000th, which would then be a gram. That's what she's talking about. They often distinguish between these by putting kcal for kilocalories, or they'll put a capital C versus a lowercase c.
When Sue and her team crunched the numbers, it turned out the full plate we saw at the beginning contained 1,208 calories.
Except it didn't. It contained 0. They were only yielded after the rapid combustion of the food in the bomb calorimeter. They wouldn't be yielded after your body ingests those things, because that's not how human physiology works. Just because we're thermodynamic systems does not mean we use food the same way. Okay? That's ridiculous. Not to mention that even if it did, those calories wouldn't affect the mass of your body at all, because they have no mass, because heat doesn't weigh anything. Wow! Yay! Wow, that was really informative, just not in the way that I thought it was. People genuinely believe, I mean, it's sad, people genuinely believe that is an accurate assessment of the amount of energy you yield from food, and an accurate assessment of how much your weight will be affected by a certain meal or a certain food. Is that not insane? Give me a break. The moral of the story here is consume a species-appropriate, species-specific diet with minimal variation around that, or a diet that, given our modern world, given the context of our modern world, best approximates such a diet, which is explained thoroughly in my book, Contrainidicated. And watch the weight fall off, frankly, as long as you also inculcate some other indicated behaviors according to the Darwinian principles of evolution, things that we have evolved to withstand that we should continue doing because they seem to have benefits, such as sunlight exposure and grounding. Whether it be directly outside or whether it be with a grounding mat right in front of me, for example, that I have right in front of me, for example. Anything that functions as a conductor, really. Copper, wire was a good one. So, anyway, if you enjoyed the video, you found it insightful, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? I see you. I know you. I'm watching you. Anyway, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you trust the British Medical Journal? Yeah, that was a stupid question, wasn't it? That was an absolutely atrocious question, wasn't it? And also, I react to a lot of inane, moronic nonsense online from a bunch of charlatans. Much of those call themselves, or like to call themselves, coaches. Now, for a lot of people that don't know, the legality, the legal requirements for being able to call yourself a coach is nothing. You just have to say it. If I said I'm a coach right now, well, I'm a coach. There you go. However, that really doesn't have any bearing on your integrity at all. And you're not going to be recognized by any mainstream institutions as knowing what you're talking about or even approximating truth. Okay? However, there is a way to become internationally accredited and recognized as a coach, so you'll actually have more authority next to your name, and therefore it's easier for you to acquire insurance for clients, for example, taking on clientele, which is important. And that is through a program that I am affiliated with Carnivore Coach Peter. It is a carnivore certification program, which I've contributed 4 modules to. Great community. Carnivore coach Peter has been coaching people for over 20 years. I did an interview with him a while back. It'll be linked in the top right corner of the screen if you'd like to check out more about what that program is, what to expect from it, why you should attend, who Peter is as a person, and some other critical information, some crucial information contained in that interview. You can also learn more by referring to our website linked in the description below, as well as if you would like to actually schedule an appointment with Peter and hear from him directly, talk to him directly, and or negotiate a plan to embark upon your journey in the carnivore certification program. His socials are in the description below for that as well. And just for your understanding, it is exponentially cheaper than attending a university for 4 years. It's also not 4 years long, and you can actually go at your own pace. And also, the integrity of the information is far, far, far superior to what you'll actually receive in university. And you still get authority next to your name and are recognized internationally. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good deal. So, once you come to the conclusion, the correct conclusion that you ought to be enrolled in that course, go and message Peter down in the description below and negotiate a plan with him for that. So with that being said, I look forward to you being in that program. I do hop around in there sometimes. But also, join me next time when we are reacting to more authoritarian agencies, or really authoritative agencies, that believe themselves to be correct because they're authoritative agencies. And they said so. So, till then.